I'm here with Liam Ryan, who I've known for quite a few years, in fact, best part of 7 years when he restarted in property. He's a fantastic guy. He's a property investor, a coach, a guru, a mentor, an author, social media extraordinaire, and he's got a wealth of experience because he's failed or learned hard lessons. His business died, he started again, and now he's built a multi-million pound business. On top of that, he helps, guides, advises, directs a lot of people in the UK in terms of building property, building a business, and also how to make deals. So Liam, what's happening for you right now in terms of business? Anything interesting you're working on?
You know what, we got so much stuff going on at the moment. We've just had one of our busiest years. 2022 is just looking insane. A lot of what we've got going on at the moment is really developing and creating new partnerships. We're a property business and wealth training company, so offering different verticals out to our amazing community where we can teach them all lovely things about property and business and social media and sales and speaking. And then of course we've got our development stuff going on with the one and only Mr. Munoz, the Essex Colombian. So, continuing to look for, single lets, small scale developments, always on the hunt for raising more money. So there's never a dull day in my life. There is always something exciting going on, building the team, partnerships, raising money. So yeah, we're busy.
So a lot of people have challenges in terms of raising money. How do you go about in terms of raising more money for your deals? Because I know you've got quite a bit going on, but obviously you must need cash all the time.
Yeah.
And then you've got so many fantastic students who are probably asking you, how do we get more cash?
Yeah.
So what are your kind of secrets or tips or techniques for raising finance?
Cool, it's a great question. So, when I got into the property world doing it the right way, again, 6 years ago, I was in a position, I didn't have access to money, I just lost the business. I was in a bit of a dark place, feeling sorry for myself. I knew I wanted to build a multi-million pound property portfolio, but I didn't have the funds to do it. And it's a really big block for a lot of people. However, there's more money in the world today than ever before. And one thing which you can do is use OPM, other people's money, private funders. They're sitting on a lot of cash right now. Maybe they've got money in stock shares, ISAs that are underperforming, money under the bed. So how do you go and access this money? Well, a couple of really important points. Number one, you've got to position yourself as the property guy or the property girl. Make sure you got your branding on point, your website, your social media platforms, and then really have a good deep understanding of how you can work with private funders. Are you going to do a savings accelerator loan agreement type product? Do you offer more of a joint venture 50-50? They put in the money, you do the work. So really digging deep on the service you offer, the unique selling points, practice talking to investors. So you can do that with friends and family members, your partners, and then start putting yourself out there and going on the hunt. Social media, networking events, charity events, friends, family members, and really the aim of the game in terms of raising money is get yourself in a pitching situation. If you've got a great deal, if you've got a great service where you can help people make more money, then you're doing people a disservice if you're not talking about it. It's about having confidence, having balls of steel, and also embracing rejection, because not every private funder is going to want to work with you, but the more people you sit with, the more chance you have of getting the money.
So basically anybody age over the 11 with a pulse, start talking to them about how you can get their money.
That's it.
And generally speaking, are you looking at the interest model, the JV model, or a bit of both?
Yeah, good question. So when I first started, my first ever private funder was Dave from Basildon.
Okay.
He was introduced to me from a good friend of mine called Will.
Okay.
I met him a couple of times at his social club in Basildon, and he was having his ham, egg and chips and his pint of Foster's. And I met him in a social club with like other, 60 other people that had sort of retired. And initially that was on a fixed rate return. It's only £5,000 at 10%, but it changed my complete mindset. My second investor, just a few weeks later, was an amazing lady who gave us £250,000, but that was on a 50-50 JV. So in the beginning of my journey as a property investor using other people's money, I typically did more 50-50s. Now, certainly for the last few years, we do more fixed rate return, because we then get to own the asset 100%. We're not having to give away the equity, and we're also giving our customers a great return. Having said that, if I'm sitting with someone, because some private funders are not interested in 6, 8 or 10%, they're going to want an equity stake. I'm not going to say no to 50% of something is much better than 100% of nothing.
That makes sense. And when you started off, going back 6 years, what were some of the kind of big challenges you faced at the time? Because there's be some people who are listening right now who are just starting off or are about to start, and they're not sure about their journey. So what advice can you give them in terms of the challenges you faced and how you overcame them?
Yeah, so knowledge is obviously a big challenge. There's many different ways to make money in property. There's so many different strategies: single lets, deal packaging, serviced accommodation, HMOs, commercial conversions, delayed with completion, lease options. There's a lot going on in the market right now. So one of the challenges for me at the start was getting focused, because reality is I wanted to do it all. And initially I tried to do like 4 or 5 strategies, and after about 6 weeks I ran out of steam. And I sat with my mentor and we said, look, what's important to us right now? And for me at that time, I wanted to own the assets, and I also wanted the cash flow. So then we started to get really drilled in on HMOs. We'd done 11 of those in the first year using none of our own money, and then we started to move into development. So some of the challenges is knowledge, concentration, confidence, and really drilling down on what's going to be that primary or secondary strategy.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, because people lack focus because they'll either read some books, go on YouTube, social media, some physical training, and then they want to do service accommodation and rent to rent and commercial conversions and new builds and be a deal packager and so on and so forth. And you'll know as well as anybody else, because you're into mindset. I'm going to cover that later on. If you try chasing 2 rabbits, you end up catching none. So you're absolutely right. Laser focus is incredibly important. And on that note, what's your most favorite strategy and why?
That's a good question, because I like them all. But for us as a business right now, we have done HMOs. We're not going to do any more as it stands because we don't want to be oversaturated. So I still love the good old traditional buy-to-let model. If you want to own assets, buy below market value property, add the value, recycle your cash, get a great tenant in there long term, make sure it's tax efficient, and you can still be in at 3, 4, 5, if not £600 a month net profit on the right property without doing a lot of work. Having said that, rent to rent serviced accommodation is cooking on gas right now. But if we go back to what really also does work, solid property investing, good old buy-to-lets are still doing great.
Perfect. And I think having one clear strategy is important. You touched on a few minutes ago in terms of having a mentor. Who has been your most important professional mentor and why?
Good question. So when I got into property, just over 6 years ago, doing it the right way, we got a great mentor, me and Jay, a guy called Rob. So Rob was one of our mentors. He's still our mentor today. But actually over the last 6 years, I've now had many different mentors, because one of the quickest route to markets is the following: find the person or the people or the team doing the thing you want to do, pay them to go on maybe a course, pay them for their mentorship mastermind program, zap them of all their information, implement, and then move on. Some mentors you'll end up keeping for many years. Other mentors you might just have them for 6 months or 12 months and then move on. But Rob is one of my great mentors. Dylan's a great mentor of mine. Jessen is a great mentor of mine. John, James, I've had plenty. Every single mentor that I've invested in, because I took the action, has taken my business to a new level.
Yeah, and you're right. I think mentors or even a coach can fast track you, because otherwise, if you make all the mistakes yourself, you're gonna run out of gas at some point, and it's gonna cost you a lot of money. Whereas obviously a good coach and a mentor is gonna help you fast track and is gonna avoid you making all those mistakes. Talking about mistakes, what's the biggest mistake you've made so far in your business, and what did you learn from it?
Good question.
And if it's more than one, by the way, because I've made loads of mistakes, Lee. So if it's more than one, you can share 2 or 3.
Yeah. So we grew really fast in the first year, and then one of the mistakes is we completed on a property and then we forgot to get the tenants to leave. then it delayed us.
I bet it did, yeah.
And that was just because we were growing too fast. So I suppose that's one of the mistakes is trying to grow too fast.
And what did you learn from that?
Slow down,
Yeah.
build a team.
Yeah.
So we got in a great PA at that point to manage the paperwork and the refinancing. Because if you've got 7-8 deals going on at once, there's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of different structures. So sometimes less is more, and not everything's going to happen overnight. So that was certainly one of our biggest mistakes, was trying to grow too quick in that first year. We then learned that me and Jay couldn't do it all, so we wanted to obviously branch out and then start building a team.
Anything else apart from that?
Other mistakes that we've made, hiring too quick as well.
Okay.
Sometimes you hire someone, you sort of know they're not right, but because you need to hire that person, you hire them, and then you realise they're not the right fit. Yeah. So take your time in the hiring process. We're in the process now of hiring a new videographer. We've got a great videographer and camera guy called Tyler. He's been brilliant, been with me 3 years. But we're going through this process of hiring someone else, and we're like 12 weeks in the process, and we still haven't found the right person. But from learning from my mistake in year one, we're not just going to hire anyone. We're going to take our time.
And it's hard right now, isn't it? I mean, I talk to people every single day, as you know, and everybody's struggling to find staff. From people who are up north. I've got a guy who runs a tutoring company, can't find tutors. I've got a lawyer friend of mine. He wants 6 lawyers to start straight away. 6. He's got a big firm.
Wow.
Can't find any.
Can't find them.
We're looking for accountants. Can't find any.
Wow.
I've got a cash and carry client. He's looking for HEV drivers. Can't find them for love nor money. It's just mad.
Really painful right now. I don't know where everyone's gone, because we're like millions of people here in the UK, and I don't feel just sitting on their backsides, or they got 2 years to furlough, I think.
we gave them that Brexit pill that was going to sort all of our ills, Liam. But we're not going to talk about Brexit now, because we talked about it a lot over the last 5 years. So I promised myself we're moving on from Brexit. So we'll move away from property, because I know you're also good on mindset and obviously speaking, coaching, and you're also a deal maker. So we'll spend a bit of time on that. Every day you wake up, what makes you feel inspired to be your best?
Yeah, my family, my wife, my kids, Holly, my 4 beautiful kids, for sure. Every single morning, everything I do is for them, to give them a better quality of life, so we can do the things that we love and we enjoy. My team, love my team. It's my responsibility to drive the team forward. So I need to stay accountable to my team, and also the community. Everyone we have within the Dealmaker Assets for Life community. I've made a promise to that community to serve them, to deliver, to inspire them, to motivate them. So every morning I wake up, it doesn't feel like I'm going to work. It's like, I just get into combat zone and let's go.
Yeah, and I think that's important, especially obviously having a network around you, both in terms of your family, friends, work colleagues, who are there to support you, but obviously also keep you going. Now, you're a very enthusiastic guy. You've got loads of energy. And some people will love that, and some people are going to loathe that. And those who possibly loathe that, what do you think they misunderstand about you?
Well, look, here's the thing. Some people will hate about you the very thing other people love about you, right? So you can't keep everyone happy. And back in the day, I used to be a people's pleaser, and if someone didn't like me, I'd find it quite personal. But I'm not everyone's cup of tea. None of us are everyone's cup of tea. And I think some people, they look at people with energy or with enthusiasm or with success, and they've just got their own demons. Maybe they're jealous, maybe they're resentful, maybe they've got stuff going on for them, and they see stuff in me that maybe they want to be a better place in their life, but they don't know how to get it. Maybe people see me as a bit of a cheesy Essex type character, but I am who I am. I love myself in terms of I care for myself. I believe in myself, and I think that's important. And I've got people that are my clients now that 3 or 4 years ago they were like, wasn't too sure about you, Liam. Who's this Essex boy? And actually, we've listened to your stuff. You make a lot of sense, and now they're some of my biggest fans and followers.
Which happens over time, doesn't it? 'Cause
Happens over
as
time.
they get to know you, they like you, they trust you, they form a relationship.
So it's important to be consistent. I think that's the most important thing. Be consistent in your message. Don't worry too much about the trolls. I remember getting my first troll, actually. I celebrated. I was like, yes, I've got a troll. It means I'm doing something good. Because for every troll, you've probably got 100 people that love you.
Of course you have. And right now, you come across as a confident guy. And I've known you for, I think, 6 years since you started your property journey back in Peterborough. And have you always been confident, or are there certain things that you did over those years to gain the confidence? Because a lot of people struggle with that, don't they? They feel they have either a lack of belief or a lack of confidence, to use other people's words.
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think I've always been fairly confident. I've always been a go-getter. And that comes from seeing my mum go through a lot of pain, not having a lot of money, living on a rough council estate. You know, one of my first memories was me, my mum, and my brother in this cold, dark, damp room sharing a tin of spaghetti bolognese. And I made a promise to myself there and then that I'll do whatever it takes to be successful and provide for my family. So it's weird because I may seem like I've got this outer confidence, but I still have this inner lack of confidence as well. So sometimes put me in a big room or put me in a situation, I still get the monkey on the shoulder, I still get nervous in situations, but you just got to push through that and believe in yourself.
Absolutely. And there must be certain days where you're feeling down, or you think, I don't want to go to work today.
Yeah.
What do you do to kind of lift yourself up from that situation? Say, come on, I've got to break through and get to the next stage.
So, great question. Listen to podcasts, watch some motivational videos. I enjoy training, so go and have a good workout, gym session. Do something that you enjoy. I think a lot of people don't do enough of what they enjoy. They just get into the 9 to 5, in the rat race, grinding it out, and don't actually take any time out. So, hey, watch a film or watch a documentary, you know, kick a ball around, go for a walk, go for a swim. But then sometimes when you're feeling down, your best efforts your own thinking can't get you out of it. So you need to do something else. So that's what I tend to do. You know, speak to my mentor. There's loads of things that I try and do just to get myself out of my own head.
And in terms of, you mentioned watch a documentary or a film. What's the best film you've seen in the last 12 months?
Oh, what have I watched?
It's an easy question. I'm hoping you're going to give me the answer I want, by the way. Okay.
What is the best film I've seen in the last 12 months? That is a good question. I watched a documentary, I think it's called The Void.
Okay.
I think it was a documentary, it was about a rock climber. It was a freestyler. I'm pretty sure it was called The Void.
Yeah.
But something like that.
Let's talk about films though.
Yeah.
You got to give me one film.
One film.
I saw one recently. And I think
what did you see?
You'd be perfect for. I'll give you one. I'll give you one clue. If you don't get it now, okay, then I'm gonna cry. Shaken, not stirred.
Oh yes, the Bond film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I took me and Holly went on a date night. It was a fantastic.
What did you
film.
make of it?
I thought it was great. I thought it was really good, engaging.
Yeah.
I loved the opening scene when he was being chased and he was in the car. That was just really good. And of course the ending. I'm not going to say too much because people might not have seen it. But the ending was like a bit of a shocker.
It's different, isn't it?
It was a different ending. It's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming.
Very different to a known Bond movie.
Yeah.
Or the kind of Bond movies that I used to watch as a kid. Roger Moore and Sean Connery.
Yeah.
This is different, isn't it? I think this links more to people's daily lives, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And as a coach and a mentor, I assume you feel that's important because people need to feel connected, don't they? So, what are some of the things you do to connect with people? Because you've got obviously a big following, and it's difficult to get to know everybody individually. That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
But how do you create a connection with people generally?
Okay, so that's a really good question. So typically, I do a lot of stuff on social media. So again, you know, Instagram, YouTube, podcast, Facebook Lives, daily content. A mixture of entertainment, education, inspiration, motivation, and the way we connect with people today is very different. The way we build relationships is very different. You know, people very quickly can get to know, like, and trust you without even having ever met you. So that's important to make those connections. And then when I'm looking to actually work with someone, say one-to-one, one of my mentees or one of my investors, then hey, we'll just go and have fun and have meals and race fast cars and go karting, clay pigeon shooting, spa days. Like I just took a whole load of my top paying clients out to London last week. We went and saw Mary Poppins, slap up meal, and that's great. You know, we're creating that community, that tribe, that movement that's taking place right now, and people are really looking for that because they feel let down by the system. Millions of people have been through a real challenge. And
it's been tough in the last 18 months.
It's been tough for a lot of people, but life is for living. These challenges will make people stronger, but you can't do it on your own. So if you can find a great community where there's like-minded people that are going to give you a kick when you need a kick, but give you a cuddle when you need a cuddle, that's what I do to connect with people.
Good. You also talked about motivation. So there's two things that I take from that. One is, do you read books?
I listen to books.
You listen to books. What are the three top books that have had the most impact on you in terms of mindset?
The top three books, I really enjoyed the Grant Cardone 10X book.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a really good one.
Yeah. Go large or go home. Basically.
Yeah, go, that's basically high energy. Yeah. Rich Dad Poor Dad, was one of the first Kiyosaki that I done. I remember listening to that for the first time about 7 years ago. I've never read that before. And Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, that's an all-time great.
That's an all-time great. Yeah, Think and Grow Rich.
Everything kind of stems back.
Yeah, and I love Richard Branson. I love reading stuff on him. Rob Moore stuff's really good. Life Leverage is a great book. There's just so many books out there. My business partner Jay Munoz, Property Metamorphosis, insane book. And of course my own book, right? So.
Yeah, good. And who's your most favourite motivational guru or mentor that you haven't met? So you've either read their stuff or listened to their stuff or seen them on YouTube.
Richard Branson, And
what do you like about Richard?
I just like, he's had more failed businesses than successful businesses. He's very much, I believe, a team player, very much about building community, building team. He's really hot on leverage. And I'm hoping to get over to a mastermind with him next year on his island, Necker Island.
Yeah. Good. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, if I can get to meet him as well.
Yeah,
cool.
He's supposed to be a very down-to-earth guy.
Down-to-earth, humble guy, likes to challenge himself, a little bit out there. Yeah. So sort of ticks all my boxes really.
So we're going to have now a very fast round questions, which can either give one word questions or I'll keep the answers as short as you like. So if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be, Liam?
Thailand, because I've never been there.
Okay. And if you could have coffee with any historical figure, who would you choose?
Oh my goodness. That is one tough historical figure. Oh, you know what? You got me on that one. I would say, I know it sounds crazy, but Margaret Thatcher.
In my mind, I had two people.
Margaret Thatcher, yes. I've seen some of it. I don't know why, but that would be someone I would like, because she was one hardcore.
But there's two names that came to my mind. I thought, I bet he's going to either say Churchill or Thatcher.
Yeah, Thatcher, yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine. What do you think the world's going to, so this is going to be longer than a one-word answer. What do you think the world's going to look like in 5 years' time? From everything you know, because I know you do a lot of personal development, coaching, mentoring, you work with people, you're innovative.
Well, it's a crazy time right now, right?
Yeah.
And there's lots of stuff happening which none of us saw happening. But I feel that in 5 years, we have a chance now as a nation, as a community, to make this place a better place. And the world as I see it is a beautiful place. Even though there's a lot of war, there's a lot of famine, there's a lot of hatred, there's a lot of resentment. I see the world as a beautiful place with lots of great opportunity, and you make it how it is. So I think in 5 years, if you've got the right mindset and the right outlook, the world's going to be a great place with great opportunity where you can create amazing memories.
I think you've got to be positive, aren't you?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there, Liam, right now who are struggling, who had difficulties through COVID. Maybe someone's passed away, maybe they've had COVID and they're trying to recover from that. They've lost their job, or they've just started property, it's not working out for them, or they've had some kind of a setback or a failure in their own mind, or some kind of a challenge. What advice would you give them? Because you've been there how many years ago and you've come through that. You lost a business, you've had other personal challenges which I know about. And so, what advice would you give to them?
Okay, the most important thing is to upgrade the circle of people you're hanging around with. It's essential. They say you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with. So if you hang out with 5 positive people, you're going to be the 6th. If you hang out with 5 to 6 people, you're going to be the 6th. So upgrade the people that you hang around with. Find great mentors, get around great coaches, get involved with a great community. It has fundamentally been the thing that helped me transform when I was in a dark place 6 years ago.
I think that's fantastic advice, because we can always do with external support.
Yeah.
And if people are really serious about improving themselves, then there's 2 things they have to do, as you know. One is invest in themselves, and then take action, take big action, because that's the only way you're going to improve.
Yeah, and find a product, think about what you're passionate about, have a good chat with yourself and say, right, what am I good at?
Yeah.
Because there's so much I'm not good at, and there's some things I'm really good at. Focus on those things you're good at, turn your passion into profit, look to serve people, build communities, empower people. Every single person on this planet, we have the opportunity to make it a better place.
And then find people who are good at what you're not good at, hire them, keep them on board, and get them to do all the stuff.
Yeah, that's what I do.
You can't do everything.
That's why they call me the deal maker.
Absolutely.
I'd like to just be in the middle. Yeah.
So we didn't touch on the deal maker.
Okay.
And we will do. So why are you called the deal maker?
I think I'm called the deal maker just because I've always been really good at doing and putting together deals, finding the right people with the right skills to get the right result. And I don't tend to get too involved with the nitty gritty with anything. Like, even if we just take my property, I've done over £28 million worth of property deals in the last 7 years, but I'm less than 5 hours a week in that business, because I've got Jay, we've got other developers, other business partners. So yeah, I've just got this knack for, bringing people together, being in the middle, getting a commission or just creating some type of joint venture. I really enjoy doing that. But as soon as I've done one deal, I'm just on to the next. I'll celebrate for a few minutes, but it's like, right, what's the next deal to be had?
Your focus, you're driven on.
Yeah, what's the next opportunity? So I don't sit still for very long. Wherever I go, if I'm in a room, I could be on a plane, I could be on holiday, it's like, is there an opportunity here? Is there someone here that I can connect with? What's your skill? So I really like networking and meeting new people and exploring on how we as teams can come together to, work towards a common goal of success, happiness, and making a shed load of cash.
That's the aim of the game. So a final question to finish on deal making. A lot of people struggle to negotiate deals or to make deals happen, or the deals fall through, or something doesn't work right. What are your top 3 tips in terms of making a deal successful?
Communication is really important. A lot of people don't know how to communicate properly. So just set your intention from the beginning. This is what I expect. This is what I'm looking for. What are you looking for? Is it a good fit? If it is, great. If it's not, no problem. There's no love lost. So communicating is really important. Over delivering as well. So when you're in a deal, whatever that looks like, or you're looking, you always look to go above and beyond for that person and over deliver on what you say, and stay focused.
3 great tips.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure, Lee.
Cool.
Thank you
nice
very much.
one. Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
Take
Cheers.
care.